Hello all, welcome to Ambari Cloud YouTube channel, part of Ambari Cloud Open Lakehouse one-way recipes. I'm going to talk about Snowflake table types, right? There are a variety of tables you can build in Snowflake. More often we think permanent tables, transient tables, and of course temporary tables part of your session. But with iceberg and then connecting to other things, right? We can build variety of tables in Snowflake. So of course, when you create a table, right, in it's going to be a permanent table, and also I didn't put the transient table here, but you can build a transient table, which has limited time travel. And of course, Snowflake, you can go up to 90 days time travel. But at the same time, you can build Snowflake manage basically Snowflake catalog iceberg table. That means here, this iceberg table, the data is in your bucket, but the catalog is Snowflake catalog, right? And then of course you can create a Snowflake dynamic iceberg table, right? And that means as you particularly when the data is getting inserted, then you can create a dynamic table, and then you can create a Polaris REST-based read-only iceberg table, which is connected to the Polaris internal catalog, right? So this one is read-only, right? You can create a Polaris REST-based table connecting to an internal catalog. Then, of course, you can create the iceberg table in Snowflake, right, which does a continuous sync and which is a Polaris external sync, right? This basically is called Polaris external catalog. So this table sitting on Polaris external catalog, that means any updates and deletes when you do in the Snowflake iceberg table, automatically data gets synced. But this is here in any other engine, like for example EMR, Dremio, when continuously updating, then you can do a continuous refresh. You can read that when it's a Polaris internal REST table, right? There are, you can connect to, Unity catalog or Cloudera through a REST integration, right? Now, previously we used to do that, but right now, because with the REST implementation, generally we don't need it. But again, if there is a situation, you can connect to an iceberg table sitting on in S3 or in our bucket, then you can do object integration. So again, this is also read only. So is the object integration, you connect to the iceberg table, but the disadvantage of the iceberg object integration, whenever the data changes, you need to run a refresh to get the most recent, metadata JSON and do a refresh. But here, the REST integration, particularly here automated, right? You can do that without any alter table commands here. Then you can connect to Snowflake to a glue catalog, right? Like similar to Polaris catalog, you can connect to a glue catalog, and also you can do glue integration, and then you'll continuously refresh the data here, right? But here you don't have to know the metadata JSON. You simply do a refresh automatically. Any changes in the glue catalog iceberg table, you can. Of course, historically we will do the external tables, right? So again, these are very slow. Right, then now with iceberg table format, why we need to build an external table? But sometimes it's a one-time load, and any batch updates, maybe we can do external table. But the external table generally is like a Parquet file, so you can create and then load it. But if it is an iceberg format, many other engines can read it, and we can do time travel, branching, and all that. So avoid using external table as they have significant lower performance, right? Then performance between permanent table, iceberg tables compatible. Right now, we don't see much of difference between a Snowflake permanent table or a Snowflake managed iceberg table. Now, the Snowflake managed iceberg table also slowly disappearing. Everybody's moving into Polaris catalog, which is also known as open catalog. So now this dynamic table also can, you can do a Snowflake manage. Now you can do REST-based too. So this is also disappearing. This dynamic catalog can sit on Polaris too, right? Then more has issues, but it's in private preview. But eventually they will fix it. But particularly the more table when you do Snowflake-based catalog. But if it is a internal Polaris catalog, no issues. But if you do Snowflake sync or Snowflake catalog, then issues. I prefer the Polaris catalog or the Snowflake catalog because it is accessible to many engines, right? But the Snowflake catalog also can be accessible to engine, but you have to use the Snowflake compute, right? But Polaris, the EMR engine or Dreamview or Trinview engines can access to the Polaris outside of the Snowflake, and then cost of compute is less. The dynamic tables, of course, you can build a type 2 tables, which is very important. Like, for example, you want to do aggregations and then updates and type 2 updates and all those things you can build on the dynamic table. So every time when you insert updates on a base table, automatically your dynamic table will be computed. Now the dynamic table also part of Iceberg with the REST, right? As I said, Snowflake supports REST. Now REST is in Polaris. You can, Snowflake REST on internal catalog or external catalog. And also you can connect to the Unity or CDP catalogs, right? The Cloudera catalog. So you can build variety of tables in Snowflake. Have fun, try all those things, then definitely permanent tables are common, right? Now I suggest avoid Snowflake-based catalog, then go for REST because, Polaris, because Snowflake is giving this account, right? So do not do Snowflake managed catalog, Iceberg catalog, get into Polaris. It's the same work, right? And then the Polaris external catalog is, kind of a Iceberg, but they're not puristic. But advantage is your permanent tables now in Iceberg format. Then other engines can read also your external catalog. So any updates, insert, delete when you do it through Snowflake, automatically updated in your Iceberg file format. But these are read only for other engines because Snowflake is managing it. Now, if you want other engines manage it, then go for Polaris internal catalog, and then Snowflake is read only. But end users behavior is same because it's as if it is a Snowflake table. So in either way, whether it is the external table or external Polaris catalog table or internal Polaris catalog, both are REST. But for end users, for them it is a nice Snowflake table. They don't know whether it's a nice table or a permanent table. So look for it. Right? If your organization using Glue, then of course Snowflake can read Glue tables, right? If our organization have access to Unity and Cloudera, if Snowflake can read those tables through REST. So when you build Iceberg tables in Snowflake, prefer to REST based rather than Snowflake catalog. And also dynamic, as I said, right? Then do it on the Polaris catalog. And then in the dynamic, right, you can do a lot of summarizations and type 2s and, those things you can build. So yeah, if you look at, when we never thought of that in Snowflake, we can build variety of tables, you can, then end users can access any of these without knowing where they are and how they've been managed. But, Snowflake, then you can Tableau or any other tools or share still can access this data, right? So try for those. Test it, practice it. We implement all those things today. My Ambari Cloud Consulting, we do all those. Then, we do lift and shift and migration, then try to reduce the cost and then implement Open Lakehouse with respect to Iceberg. So reach out any questions, skondapalli@ambaricloud.com. Thank you. Bye now.